This time we like to visit with our friends from Plaza Dental Group, and time to see if we can give you a great smile. Joining us this morning is Dr. Jay Jensen from Plaza Dental Group.
Yep, it is Wellness Wednesday, and we're talking prevention, which is a great thing when you hear about your teeth, because you don't want to get to that point where you go to the dentist and it's like, uh-oh.
That's correct.
We want to do some prevention to make sure we don't hear those words. So, Doc, thank you for joining us this morning, and tell us, how can we do some prevention with our teeth?
Well, first and foremost, do what you were taught when you were a little kid, and that's, brush and floss and go to the dentist every 6 months like you're supposed to.
Right.
Let's start off that way.
The most basic, the basic of all things.
That's the most basic of all things.
All right, what's more important, brushing your teeth in the morning or brushing them at night?
I think both are very important.
He's legally required to say that.
If you absolutely have to choose, actually at night would be the one that I would choose.
All right.
All right. The
and that's
reason
because
is
you're at rest with
that's
sugar
right.
and stuff.
All of those sugars are just sitting in your mouth, and that bacteria just festers overnight and can get in there and really cause some problems.
And if you don't do it in the morning, you'll have fewer friends you'll have to worry about.
That's correct.
It'll encourage you to do it one more time.
Yeah, there you go.
You should do both.
Okay, we're talking about preventatives, and you had a chance to work on Jackie.
I did.
Because it's interesting, you hear about kids' teeth, and different things they can do, but they'll have adult teeth coming in, so a lot of times they're prevented that way. But when you're an adult and things happen, there's still some things you can do.
That's correct. What we did with you last week was what's called a preventive resin restoration. Basically, it's kind of an adult sealant. So to speak.
Sounds impressive.
Yeah,
it really is.
Big word for a really
lacquer.
small, exactly, a really small, simple procedure. The difference between a traditional sealant and what we did with you last week is, in your situation, you had really deep stained grooves.
Good job.
That can get bacteria down into them.
And I didn't realize how stained they were.
On the biting surface.
Because you never see that. How often do you go, how stained am I in there?
So the stains are on the biting surface of her teeth, right?
That's correct.
So this is coffee, wine, whatever. Huh?
Wine.
Thanks,
Well,
it's
just what it is. It's just bacteria that gets down into those deep pits, fissures, and grooves. And those grooves are so deep and so small that you can't get a toothbrush bristle down into there.
But look what the result can be.
But the result ends up being great. So the before photo showed those stains, and then what I did was I went in there and I just kind of opened those grooves up. There we go. We have that before photo, and then I took a very, very tiny burr, or a drill bit, so to speak, and just opened those grooves up. There's the open grooves, and got all the stain out.
You're grinding it off?
Just barely. I mean, we're just
touching it up.
We're barely getting that stuff out of the enamel. She couldn't feel anything. We don't go to the next level below, beyond the enamel, and we get everything cleaned out, and then we just fill it in with white filling material, and then it's sealed up for good. Now we don't have those grooves for that bacteria to leak into.
Oh.
That's pretty slick.
You said this was an adult thing, obviously, and that the stains and the bacteria were there. Is this something you could do for kids that have all their permanent teeth? Is that a different
You absolutely
procedure?
could. It just depends on the anatomy of the teeth. Everyone has different tooth anatomy, and if we see young kids that have their adult teeth in, but they have those real deep grooves that are already starting to stain, then we may recommend to open those grooves up a little bit and go ahead and do a preventive resin.
And how long will this last then?
I can't put a timeline on it, but it is a long-lasting restoration. It'll be there a very, very long time.
And this is something that could save you some money down the road, I imagine.
That's correct, because what could happen is with that bacteria trapped in there, deep in those grooves, it can actually fester over time into an actual cavity. That's why we opened those grooves up the other day, to see what's going on in there, because we really can't tell.
Make sure there wasn't anything like beginning to build in there? Or?
That's correct. A good analogy that we like to use in our practice is the wormhole in an apple.
Yeah.
You know how you get into there, it looks real tiny, but once you get in, all of a sudden there's this giant hole that's all brown and mushy. The same thing happens in teeth.
Wow.
Once that bacteria gets down to that next level beyond the enamel. It's called the dentin. The dentin is much softer than the enamel, so it starts to eat away and really can make a big mess that we can't even see until we get in there.
How long of a procedure is it?
Oh, so quick.
It took us 20 seconds maybe?
Yeah.
You're that quick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was ridiculously
Really?
fast, and because we're not dealing with a cavity, there was no numbing agents that needed to be used, because you can't feel anything. Like literally, you cannot feel anything. You're just laying there, he's in, boop, boop, out, and I have a beautiful teeth.
Now, is this mostly molars, to use a lot of alliteration that you're working on?
Correct. Yep. This is molars. Premolars are the ones that are right in front of the molars. Sometimes have really deep grooves too, but not as often. It's usually in the molar region where we do this.
Okay. Well, that sounds like kind of a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, it is.
And cost-wise, how does this relate cost-wise? And does insurance usually cover it or not?
Yes. What we do is we you charge this out as a filling, okay? Because it is essentially a filling.
Okay.
If we were doing a traditional sealant, we would not have opened the grooves or any of that kind of stuff and just put a sealant on there and you charge it out as a sealant.
Okay.
Makes sense?
So different area, different category.
That's right, exactly. Had we got into Jackie's tooth and discovered that there was decay there, then we would have had to stop, get her numb, and go and get all that out of there and fill it up. So it would have been a filling anyway. So it is a filling.
Could that possibly lead to a root canal being had to be performed on that tooth if it gets real bad or not?
It absolutely can. That's
and you don't want that.
We don't want that.
No.
Well, that's
No.
why we're talking prevention today.
Yeah.
That's right. We're talking
So
prevention.
Make sure you
Exactly.
go to your dentist because they're able to see those things better than we.
What? See, I never heard of that.
I mean, how often, you can't see those things. Like you said, you even had to grind in there to see what was going on with my
That's
tooth.
right.
So you have to go to professional prevention first, and hopefully you can find or get it fixed before a problem actually happens.
That's right. Exactly.
That is so cool.
Thanks for giving me the
Yeah,
ability.
and I can't get over how quick you said that was.
Oh, so
Yeah,
fast.
That's amazing.
It is, and I exaggerated a little bit. That it takes longer to apply the restorative materials than it does to actually go in there and kind of drill those grooves out.
That is amazing.
So you have to let the stuff, set up and cure and that kind of thing.
All right. People have any questions about this? I'm sure they can head over to Plaza Dental Group.
Yes.
Give them a call, 612-7148, or just go visit them over at Jordan Creek Parkway, Suite 100 over in West Des Moines, dmsmiles.com on the internet. All right, buddy. Good to see you.
Thank you, Doc.
Great
Thanks
seeing
for
you
coming
guys.
over. You're coming back, I hope.
I will be back. I'm
Wonderful.
excited about it. We're going to talk about some great stuff here in the future.
That sounds like a plan. Thank you,
All
buddy.
right. Thank you, guys.